For 20 years, everyone believed he was dead. His name slowly faded from conversations, his face disappeared from photo frames, and his story became just another memory that people avoided mentioning because it hurt too much. There was no body, no crime scene, no final explanation, just a man who left one morning and never came back. His family searched for months, then years, until eventually they were forced to accept the only explanation that made sense. He was gone forever. His name was Robert Miller. He was 36 years old, married, with a young daughter. On the day he disappeared, he left home like any other morning. He kissed his wife, grabbed his jacket, said he would be late because of work, and walked out the door. That was the last time anyone who loved him ever saw him. When Robert didn't return that night, his wife assumed something simple had happened. Maybe his car broke down. Maybe he stayed with a friend. But by the next morning, fear replaced patience. His phone was off. His workplace said he never arrived. His car was found 2 days later, parked near a small bus terminal, perfectly intact, with no signs of struggle. It looked as if he had simply stepped out of it and vanished into the air. The police investigated, but without evidence, the case slowly died. No financial activity, no passport usage, no known enemies. Just silence. His wife eventually sold the house. His daughter grew up believing her father had died, and over time, Robert became something worse than missing. He became forgotten. Until one day, almost 2 decades later, a strange coincidence reopened everything. A man named Daniel moved into a quiet neighborhood just a few miles from where Robert used to live. Daniel was polite, reserved, and lived alone. He paid his bills in cash, avoided social media, and rarely spoke about his past. To everyone around him, he was just another anonymous neighbor, the kind of person you wave to but never really know. One afternoon, a woman walking her dog stopped in front of Daniel's house. She stared at him for several seconds, confused by a feeling she couldn't explain. Something about his face triggered a memory buried deep in her mind. She didn't know his name, but she was certain she had seen him before, somewhere, a long time ago. Later that night, she searched through old photo albums at her parents' house, and there it was, a faded family photo from 20 years earlier. In the background, standing next to her uncle at a barbecue, was the same man, the same eyes, the same expression, the same face. His name wasn't Daniel. It was Robert Miller. When the police were contacted, they initially dismissed the claim, but fingerprints confirmed the impossible. The man who had been missing for 20 years was alive, using a new identity, living less than 10 minutes away from the family who had spent decades grieving him. When confronted, Robert didn't resist. He didn't deny it. He simply said he had wanted a new life. He explained that he had felt trapped, overwhelmed by responsibility, exhausted by expectations, afraid of becoming someone he hated. One morning, he decided to disappear. He withdrew cash over several weeks, left his car near the bus terminal, took a train under a fake name, and rebuilt his identity from scratch. No crime, no violence, just abandonment. For 20 years, his wife believed she was a widow. His daughter believed she was fatherless, while he lived quietly, peacefully, anonymously. When asked why he never reached out, he gave a simple answer: because it was easier to stay invisible than to face what he had done. The legal system couldn't punish him. There was no law against disappearing. But socially, the damage was irreversible. His family refused to meet him. His daughter declined any contact. And Robert, once again, became invisible. Not because he disappeared this time, but because no one wanted to see him anymore. Some stories don't disappear. They only remain in the dark, waiting for someone to bring them back to the light. Forgotten stories aren't lost. They're just waiting to be seen again.